Oh, shit. Alright, 20 to go. Finally, this race is going to get interesting. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to yet another episode of your Left Turn Review. This is Fresh Racing here, and sorry I've been gone so long. Just been, once again, having a good summer. I think that I'm just going to continue to do these just combination videos. I think I'm going to focus more, like, once we get into the chase, I'm going to go back to doing those, you know, just individual videos, because I feel like those are going to be more important. But enough of that. Let's get right into it. Let's go all the way back 2 weeks ago to Texas in the Truck Series. There was fucking, I mean, the best racing was between Christopher Bell and Briscoe. I mean, it was just, that was the two strongest trucks of the entire race was those two trucks, and it ended up being Christopher Bell on top and Briscoe second, but that's really, there's not much else to talk about. I mean, there was just a lot of people scraping the wall and just nothing out of average, although there is one thing that did happen that I haven't seen in a while at Texas, and it was pretty damn wild.
Watch him get loose on the bottom, gets into Johnny a little bit, turns him sideways. Ben Rhodes able to get by. Timothy commits to the bottom. Austin Wayne comes down there. A wild ride for Timothy.
And this is Timothy Peters. Watch this ride.
Did you just fucking see that truck flip? Oh my fucking god, that's some crazy shit. That son bitch went 10 feet in the air. That looks like when you flipped Daddy's truck last week.
So yeah, that wreck happened about 2 to go, and they decided to call it as soon as the caution came out, like NASCAR always fucking does. But like I said, Christopher Bell won, Chase Briscoe second, but it was like by this much. I mean,
and the finish. Remember, when this was to take the white, and then when the yellow comes out, the race is over, and you go to the video evidence of which vehicle happened to be in the lead.
the next race was the Xfinity race at Pocono, and once again, it was just a good finish. It was nothing really interesting to talk about. Kozlowski won the first stage. I mean, nothing happened. Nothing happened first stage, second stage. Paul Menard got a little loose at one point, threw out a caution. Who else? Brendan Jones got in the grass, got loose. It's just a couple loose race cars. Other than that, it was just sitting there just watching cars go around in circles. The best thing was the restarts, like it always is at Pocono. I mean, they all spread out and stuff, but even there wasn't that much of fucking, people trying to pass on the restarts, but it was basically just a battle between Kozlowski and Larson and Elliott Sadler at the end of it, and ended up being a pretty good finish.
Brad drove it in there hard, trying to get him loosened up.
See, Larson did a good job of maintaining control of his
he's
car,
under
but
him,
he's got
guys.
him. And this is where it's going to get big. He's going to pull
Where's
back.
Here comes Allgaier on the outside.
Corner, dragging you hard, right corner. Start getting up. Clear, 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 clear by one.
What a move.
Clear by one, two.
And that was about as well-timed of a pass as you will ever see. Brad Kozlowski took the fastest car and just made an absolutely great pass with it.
Took the air off of him, got him loose, moved him up the track, went on to win the race. Great job.
Brad Kezlowski wins his 35th race, and most importantly, ends the 46-race losing streak
For the 22.
As you saw, I forgot to mention Justin Allgaier up there up front, and he was challenging for a win. I was actually kind of pulling for him towards the end. Sadler was still up there. I think he got a top 10 out of it. I honestly don't remember. I forgot to write down the stats or whatever. But another thing I forgot to mention was the driver announcers at Pocono. That was, it didn't end up being as good as I thought it would be. I thought there would be a lot more mess ups and stuff like that, and I thought that my boy Clint would, crack a few jokes here and there, but he was taking it professionally. Everybody was taking it pretty professionally. It was just a good finish, and that's all I really have to talk about for the Xfinity. But let's get into the Monster Energy at Pocono. And I mean, it was you probably saw my last video on who won. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but if you haven't, go check that out, because I mean, I took some time on that last week. You know, I decided not to do a race review. I just want to do a little something different, but I still am going to talk about the race, obviously. But Kyle Busch, he ended up getting the pole. Let's see, it was like in my last video, it was Bubba Wallace's first like Cup debut or whatever, and he ended up doing okay. He got a penalty and he ended up getting a little damage, but I mean, that's his first race. What do you expect? You can't do great. One thing to talk about was Jimmy Johnson ended up, I think he blew a tire and tried correcting it, but it didn't correct it too well, and just ends up going right in the wall.
Braking zone. See if, right
yeah,
there.
You see the smoke, yeah. Actually, the right rear. It looked like fire in the right rear.
It did look like a failure in the right rear. He turns left, trying to get away from that wall. Heavy impact, the right side. That'll take the wind out of you. Now, what happened here is what we've got to figure out. How did Jamie McMurray get involved?
Both Jamie McMurray and Jimmy Johnson, their brakes just went to shit, like all of a sudden at the exact same corner. I mean, Pocono, you have to slam on your brakes and then at least two of the corners, and I mean, they just failed. The brakes just went to shit. That's all I can say. And Jimmy Johnson, the hit he took, he ended up getting out of the car and had to take a little breather. He ended up being all right, but everybody had a lot of brake issues. That's all I can really say. Casey Kane ended up hitting the wall, I think, because of a brake issue, like 19 to go. But there was Kyle Busch ended up winning stage 1, Kyle Larson stage 2, and Ryan Blaney ends up winning his first ever Cup win, and I fucking love it.
Nice job off of turn 1 for Ryan Blaney.
Gapped him a little bit. Got to get across this tunnel. If he gets across the tunnel, he's got it made.
The calm voice of spotter Josh Williams for Blaney.
Little loose.
Here he comes. He's looking. He's looking.
Oh, Harvick had to get out of the throttle a little bit. Almost got in the wall.
400 miles. It's going to come down to one corner. That flat turn 3. And Blaney beats Harvick back to the gas. Harvick looks slow, and here they come. The winner at Pocono, Ryan Blaney for the Wood Brothers.
Wow.
What a race.
Wow.
It's always nice to see somebody get their, first win, and this was the first win of the season. And I think that's what's been best about the season more than anything. It hasn't been like the stages bullshit. They're trying to make it such a big deal, but it's really not. I think it's just the first wins and all these young drivers being able to actually race against, some of the fucking best of all time and actually prevail. It's always been the same guys these past maybe 5 or 6 years since I've been watching it. But it's nice to see some new faces. I hate to say it. Some people like it, some people don't. But Ryan Blaney's a badass motherfucker. You gotta admit it. So next weekend was Father's Day weekend, and we had 2 races in one day on Saturday, and I've never been so ill-prepared for a race review or left turn review, whatever, because I only literally took like maybe a handful of notes on my phone because I was having too good of a time at Beach Bend Park in Bowling Green, Kentucky. If you ever never heard of it, go check it out. They got, amusement park, drag strip, all the cool shit. I was sitting there watching just all these badass cars come through, and it was really, really enjoyable. I would rather be doing that than watching the race, sitting by a TV, to be honest. But the Truck Series, they were at Gateway, which was a track I've never even fucking heard of before. I mean, I sort of vaguely remember it last year, but I mean, it wasn't really ringing a bell when I first watched it. I literally watched maybe the last 30 laps of it. We went back to the RV and we just happened to caught the end of it. But all I saw was Christopher Bell and Briscoe at it again. They have been two of the strongest trucks that I've seen, and they're going to be battling for a championship like, Christopher Bell did last year. But Nemechek ended up winning it.
Lead on Matt Crafton. Can he get it? Yes! Nemechek to the point. Christopher Bell and Chase Briscoe right there.
I think Chase gets Bell.
Oh, forces his way down inside. Bell sideways, hangs on to it. That's going to allow John Hunter Nemechek the gap he needs for sure to get to the finish. But Briscoe takes away second, and John Hunter Nemechek around turn 4 is going to bring it home. So much tough luck this year, but tonight is his night. Nemechek wins at Gateway.
You see how bad Chase Briscoe wants to win, and I don't blame him for making that move, last lap. But at the same time, it was kind of dumb because he, caused both of them to slow down, and he let Nemechek get the win. Let's get into the Xfinity at Michigan, and I, once again, don't have a lot of notes. I do have notes for the Michigan race for the Monster Energy, but all I know is I didn't miss much. I watched all the race hub, and there wasn't anything interesting that I missed out on other than the finish. And I did happen to catch the finish once again. We went back to the RV, and I got to see the last, I think, 20 laps. And fucking William Byron was taking off. We were all sitting there clapping, cheering for him and shit. But nope.
Hamlin's got to run, Adam.
And here comes Elliott Sadler.
Two back to the top lane.
Hamlin looking inside. Sadler's right there as well. Contact as they come off of turn 4. Back to the checker flag. At the line, Denny Hamlin wins it by a nose. What a finish. Closest finish ever at Michigan International Speedway in the Xfinity Series.
It's pretty cool that they, it was the closest finish of all time at Michigan International Speedway in the Xfinity Series, but would have been a lot cooler if William Byron won instead of Denny Hamlin, a Cup guy, which is everybody expected him to win. Didn't expect Byron to be up there at the end of it, but he was, and he lost. But pretty good finish, gotta say. That was 2 good finishes in one day, and I mean, NASCAR fans got to at least see good finishes. But let's get into the next day at the Michigan, Michigan 400, whatever the hell it's called, Pure Michigan. I remember, there's not much, once again, nothing to talk about in the first 2 stages. Truex fucking dominated both of them. Literally, he's had the most stage wins of this season. He's like, he just gets up there and just, all right, let me just rack up some points real quick. But nothing happened all the way up to 21 to go, and there was debris that came out. And it was bullshit because as soon as they restarted the race, Clint got into the wall and got into traffic, got into the wall, and then Blaney got loose and caused Danica and Suarez to crash. And once again, Danica got the worst of it.
Something's wrong with Blaney. He's not going anywhere, backing up the whole field.
Looked like he and got a bump there from Harvick.
Oh, they got a wreck. They got a wreck.
They got a wreck. They got a wreck.
Throughout the whole race, you had basically the same guys up top. You had Kyle Busch, Truex, Larson, Ryan Blaney, Logano. Blaney until he got into that wreck, and Logano, Chase Elliott, all of them. But guess who came out on top? The whole meme of the race himself ended up winning it.
Well, if you believe in karma and omens, look at the corner panel of Kyle Larson's car and his uniform. Cars 3, number 1 this weekend at the box office. Car 42, Kyle Larson, number 1 at Michigan International Speedway. Larson wins. Chase Elliott second for the 3rd Michigan race in a row.
Larson gets another win, and Chase Elliott ended up choking once again and ended up second, and Logano got 3rd. But that does it for this video. I have a lot of announcements coming up in the next video that I'm really excited for. So make sure you stay tuned and, make sure you subscribe. That's one thing I always forget to say. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and you'll be able to, be notified or whatever when I, actually upload. I'm terrible with uploading, but I'm getting better. 2 of my favorite races are coming up. This weekend is Sonoma, and the week after that is Daytona. And I'm super pumped on those. I'm probably going to maybe do another combination, maybe not. I might do them separate. Who knows? I most likely will do a combination, just to there might be enough to talk about for me to do 2 separate videos, but these, I mean, they were just, it was just great finishes, and that's all I could say. It wasn't a left turn review in this video, it was a finish review. But I'll see you guys in the next video, and yeah, deuces.
Ever since I was young, they said I won't be nothing. Now they always say congratulations. Worked so hard, forgot how to vacation. They ain't never